Okay, we are giving this a go, I believe, just to get myself in the flow. Not 100% sure how I was saying, actually, but it looks fine, so we're going to go over. Hey cat, you're shedding your fur, aren't you? Hello, what a surprise to see you here. When you want something, where does the wants come from? Because you're the awareness, okay? You're aware that you want something. You're also part of everything. You're essentially witnessing. You're the entire universe, you're God, whatever you want to call it, and you're witnessing through the vessel of whoever you happen to be right now, and all other living creatures as well. You are perceiving the world through those vessels. So when you want something, if you associate yourself with the wanter, so with you, if you want a new house, if you want a new job, when you associate with being the person who wants, you in a way lose some of your power. If you stop associating with the want, and what I mean by that is it doesn't mean stop wanting. I don't mean stop wanting the things that you want. I'm saying stop associating with the sense of wanting it. In doing so, you're going to not just ground yourself again and be appreciative for where you're at and the things you have. You also begin to associate with the whole, with the entirety. Because the thing you want is within you. It's already part of yourself. You are part of the universe, and your concept of the thing that you want exists within that, within the whole, right? And this is the illusion, it's the separation, it's the whole dance. This is part of the whole illusion, is thinking that we're separate, because then we get to have the experience of gaining and losing. So instead of trying to like hack the game, which we're a part of, which I don't think necessarily is the best decision, instead we can use our awareness of the game, of the rules, to our advantage. So if you desperately feel like you want something, that is the illusion. That's part of the play. If you didn't feel like you wanted it, when you received it, it wouldn't feel like a payoff, right? It would just feel like the way it is. But if you want something bad enough that you're willing to shift your perspective on reality or on the way things are to benefit you in getting that, then that would be my advice. Just take a moment, no distractions, and ask yourself truly, where does the wanting come from? And if you've not done this kind of thing before, ask yourself, who is the person wanting? Who am I? Who is the person asking? Where is that coming from? Right? So try and break down your reality and your perspective. It's essentially a form of self-inducing ego death to give you an awareness. People who haven't had an ego death believe entirely they are the character in some kind of story. The reality is, if you're part of the story, you have to be the whole. You have to be part. You can't be separate and be put inside the story. You're still within the realm of existence of that story, okay? The fact you exist and you have this awareness, you are part of everything now, forever. And it might not be in this form, forms change, but you are part of it. And there's another road we could go down with this, to do with death and to do with incarnation and being born. The point being, you came from nothing. So why would we then have the belief that you would become nothing again, when really your form will change? So you can't actually come from nothing, right? Fundamentally, there has to be a space where there is something to allow for there to be the idea of nothing, because it wouldn't be nothing, it would just be is. And as you are right now, and you are witnessing and experiencing, then a state of true nothing cannot exist. So we know that we are in this occurrence, we're in the universe, we're in the energy, and from our perspectives there's time involved, but then that's, again, time is a fundamental fact, a fundamental core factor of how we're able to have this experience. We need things to begin and end. We need things to be gained and lost. These things make up the human experience. How does this way of seeing things benefit you? It allows you to be more in touch and more in tune with going with the flow. And that doesn't mean that you just sit around doing nothing. It means you are likely to follow the steps that are actually aligned for you, that are bringing that aspect of reality into your life sooner. Wanting is part of the forgetting that you are everything, and everything is part of your experience. Your experience now is only the way it is because you can have things that feel like you want them, and you can have things that are separate to you. Because what also happens when you take this perspective on with the things you want, you're going to stop latching onto that sensation of always feeling like there's something outside of you. Let's not get this twisted. I'm not saying do not want things. It's great to have goals, it's great to have dreams and to want to achieve these different things. As with most of my content, I use a potentially existential perspective or blended philosophies to try and benefit you in how you see things in life if you're struggling with that. If you spend all your time wanting things, you're never living. Okay, you're always in a state of thinking there's more, but you just don't have it right now. The reality is, if you completely relax, take some deep breaths, meditate, let your nervous system calm down, and you sit. This is as calm and as relaxed as you will feel, and as grounded and as in the moment as you will feel, despite anything external, despite anyone who's around you. Hey, Tuctus. Hey, buddy. I know it's hard being a dog. Okay, I have lost my train of thought. I won't lie. It's been a slow warm-up today because, I just wanted to make a video, and what I've noticed is when I have a topic in mind, I actually seem to struggle more to just get into the flow of talking because I try and constantly link it back to the topic that I had in mind. Whereas a lot of my previous videos are just different. Oh my goodness, that was a big yawn. A lot of my videos are just off the top of my head. If I'm trying to make it digestible, try to, instead of attaching yourself to the person who thinks about wanting, then you end up living in your thoughts. You end up thinking about what you want, and you think everything's external. By taking some time to meditate, to relax, to switch off your constant narrative, will allow you to realize that you have in this moment now everything that's going to let you just be, right? You want to live fully. If we have this finite timeline, you want to be living fully more of the time than less. Ideally, as much of the time as possible. And the way so many of us operate at the moment, especially with social media, computers, these kind of things, we're living in our thoughts. So you're still living, of course, you're still aware, but you're constantly running through this narrative because people don't realize it's not them. You don't have to associate with your thoughts, you don't have to be them. And when this spiel stops, this is why people enjoy anything that takes them out and puts them in the moment. A lot of people don't realize you have the ability to do that whenever. You have the ability to take a few deep breaths, and the more you practice this, the more you practice meditating, the more you practice giving yourself time where you just truly relax and switch off, where you just truly be, the easier it becomes to do in different situations throughout your life. So this might actually just be a really short one today. I usually make longer videos, but I don't need to make a long video. Just to summarize, I've gone off the trail here, as I always do, all sorts of different bits and bobs. But in summary, remember that wanting is part of the illusion. You don't become obsessed with wanting something, because then you stop living now and you think you're going to start living when you get that thing or when you get those things, and you won't. Okay, you're going to want more, you're going to want different things because you've adapted your way of being to want. Whereas when you're in a state of just living life fully, moment to moment, without thinking you always need something outside of yourself to fulfill the moment and to make you full, that could be a relationship, that could be material, that could be an activity. If you think you need that to feel full, you're going to always be in a state of lack. You're always going to be in a state where you think the moment right now isn't enough, but the moment right now is all you have, ever. So to me, why would we not want to master embracing that in the many different forms of the now that we experience? So if any of this resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. I would love to discuss, and I wish you all the best. I'll catch you again very soon. Take care.